The top 10 most amazing animal nests in the world. Master builder termites can only rank 8th. 6th place even appeared in your toilet first place. No walls, no doors, but it supports a quarter of marine life. It also generates hundreds of billions of dollars in GDP. Put a few branches together, a few pieces of mud in a pile. This is probably what you have in mind. Standard impression of an animal nest. If you really think so, that can only be said. You seriously underestimate the ambition of animals. Migrants from the animal kingdom built 850 meters in length, reasonable to exceed the Hoover Dam. The thief put down on his feet and stood still. Penguins that raise their families and cover your own, while dismantling the opponent's bird world love brain. Roll King Yuanding Bird. These architectural geniuses of the animal kingdom. Crazier than you think. They don't have reinforced concrete. But intelligence and engineering are just as difficult as humans. This issue will follow the global survey. Together. Enter the 10 most amazing animal nests in the world. Challenging the imagination more and more. Looking forward to your subscriptions and likes. Number 10, Reasonable Dam Nest. If the Hoover Dam is a marvel of human engineering, then deep in the Canadian wilderness, there's a bunch of natural dams that are built right. Is the wonder of the animal kingdom. This river dam in Alberta. Length over 850 meters. That's almost twice the size of the Hoover Dam. It was discovered by humans as early as 2010. Recognized from satellite imagery. It's not a concrete navel orange. It's incredibly sturdy. It's still visible even years later. In overhead images from space, the architect who built him is reasonable. One looks awkward. Slow animals. But he has amazing perseverance and strong instinctive judgment. They would survey the terrain by streams or rivers, the velocity of water flow and the distribution of surrounding vegetation. After choosing a location, click to start logging. It is reasonable to bite off the trunk with the front teeth. Branches are dragged into the water one by one. Built horizontally on one side of the current. Block the river. Create a miniature reservoir. They know that as how to use the shape of the branches to fit each other. He also knows how to seal the gap with stones and soil. Make the dam more stable and waterproof. The whole process is not based on design sketches. There is no so-called commander, purely by one family. Instinctive cooperation and experience accumulation among members. Their goal is not just blue water, but to make the water rise. Cover the underwater passage to the nest. Is that so? A reasonable family can safely enter and exit the nest underwater. Avoid foxes. The tracking of natural enemies such as wolves. The nest itself is built in a remote location in the water, made of branches. Internal hollow. There are dry floors. They can rest and raise their young. And here's what's even more amazing. This 850-meter reasonable dam, not completed in a short time. Instead, there are generations of reasonable continuous repair. Every branch, every cloud of soil, it's all the result of them moving and piling up again and again. No overnight achievement. Only hard work year after year. This giant dam not only protects the reasonable, it also greatly promoted the surrounding ecology. The wetlands formed by the dam are for fish, birds and amphibians. Provides an ideal breeding and habitat environment. Increased biodiversity. It also regulates water flow, prevent floods and soil erosion. Play a natural ecological engineering role, fold with humans. Compared to huge projects that rely on reinforced concrete, reasonable only by instinct and natural materials. Create this living dam. It repairs and maintains itself according to changes in water flow, embodying the wisdom and ecological harmony of nature. The ninth rhubarb savannas of Africa. Bird collective nest. There is a bird, famous for its stunning group nest buildings. Rhubarb horny nest. The nests built by these small birds. Known as the largest bird nest on land. Like a giant bird castle. Another architectural wonder of nature, the nest height of the rhubarb-footed nest bird can reach 3 meters, width over 8 meters. It can weigh up to nearly a ton. It can accommodate up to hundreds of birds living simultaneously. Unlike most birds, which build their nests alone, they work in groups. Build these giant composite nests. Each nest is connected to each other, forming a vast network of nests. The interior of the nest is cleverly designed. It contains multiple nests. The temperature inside each nest is constant. Warm in winter and cool in summer. Provide a comfortable habitat for birds. This massive nest is not just a home for birds. It's a micro-community in an ecosystem. Broad grass and branches at the top of the nest can effectively block the hot sun, protect birds from the desert heat. The nest has a complex ventilation system. Helps regulate humidity and air circulation, ensuring that birds can survive in harsh environments. And here's the thing, the nest is also resistant to snakes. Infestation by natural enemies such as birds of prey. Ensure the safe breeding of bird flocks. Nesting process of rhubarb horn weaving bird. All members are required to participate. Gnawing on branches, braided blades of grass, layer by layer. Created to be able to. Resistance to harsh environments and predators. Nests have a long lifespan. Can usually be used for decades. It expands over time. It is the longest-lived bird building on land. Rhubarb-footed nest bird uses wisdom and cooperation. Created the rarest in nature. See the architectural wonders, reminding us that life is more powerful than we can imagine. 8th place. Termite tower nest. So we all know that ants are really good at architecture, but you know Africa. How high is the artistic significance of large termites? It's no exaggeration. It's at least 3 or 4 stories tall. Dialect African grassland. Termite nests rise up like miniature putas. You can see it from a distance. Make people suspicious. Is it some architect? Secretly came to weave a mold. This group of small insects only a few millimeters in size. Although it may seem insignificant, he's one of the engineering wizards of the insect world. They don't use blueprints, do not borrow machinery. It's all about collective labor and instinct. Little by little, a miraculous building is piled up. Let's start with a set of jaw-dropping statistics. A single white mound can reach a maximum of 8 meters. The diameter of the bottom is more than 20 meters. The number of bee groups can reach millions. The entire interior of the nest is crisscrossed, with thousands of rooms and passages. The complexity of an underground maze. And here's what's really amazing. These are distributed in a very regular manner in the hills. The spacing between them is very consistent, exceptionally neat. In the border area between Angola and Mozambique, there is a giant star. Its scale. So much so that it is clearly visible in satellite images. There are even relevant studies pointing out that these ethels may have been around for thousands of years. And distributed like a natural urban grid. Imitation. Buddha is a ground totem left by some ancient civilization. But really amazing. It's the functional design, the temperature-controlled ventilation system. Ventilation ducts crisscrossing the interior of the nest. With the help of the principle of airflow and temperature difference, maintain a constant temperature throughout the year. Even if it's 40 degrees outside, it's still as cool as spring inside. By feeds on accidental bacteria, they grow certain fungi in the tide. Plant residues that cannot be digested by themselves. It becomes fertilizer for the soldiers. Each bee nest is carefully divided into nursery areas, the public welfare channel in the storage area, and the exclusive Maharaja in the future. Division of labor. But here's the thing. This seemingly low-key earthen building not only guarantees the survival of the bee group itself, often become lizards, snake, temporary habitat for small mammals, etc. In our eyes, they might just be a pile of dirt. But in the world of termites, it's a place full of life. Fully functional. A metropolis that expands year after year. The 7th Emperor Penguin Horned Nest. The coldest place in the world. But the warmest nest was born. Emperor Penguin. This animal lives in the extreme cold of Antarctica. Almost redefined the meaning of nesting. They don't use sticks and stones. They don't dig holes and make nests. It is to entrust the next generation to a pair of feet and a piece of abdominal skin. You heard right. The nest of emperor penguins is their instep. Every May, night falls on the Antarctic continent. Temperatures can drop as low as -60 degrees Celsius. Most of the animals have long since fled, and the emperor penguin is going the other way, to the frozen wilderness. This penguin lays an egg. Embark on a difficult journey back to the sea to find food. The bear penguins are responsible for hatching. He will carefully roll the sheet onto your instep. Then apply a thick layer on the stomach. The egg sac wraps it. Over the next 2 months, bear penguins can hardly eat. Supported only by body fat, standing motionless in the howling cold wind. The egg at their feet. The most concise in the world. The strongest and loneliest lair. This kind of foot nest is small. It is a fortress of life. It has the ultimate warm air design. Applying egg sacs can. The temperature inside the shell is maintained at around 35 degrees Celsius. It's 100 degrees centigrade higher than the outside environment. A little careless, but falling onto the ice, you'll freeze to death in less than 2 minutes. Therefore, emperor penguins must maintain balance and alertness at all times. To withstand the cold, hundreds of bear penguins will huddle into a big circle. The outer layers are constantly keep each other out of trend. Emperor penguin's nest. Both simple and extreme design. It is also the ultimate expression of fatherly responsibility. They teach us a fact. The nest is not so sturdy and gorgeous. It's about whether he can help fragile hope. And number 6, crimson fire mocks when a rainstorm hits. River flooding. Most creatures are desperately running for their lives. And a swarm of tiny insects, but it can set sail in the flood. They don't use boats. It doesn't use wood. The flood comes. Thousands of ants will huddle together. Bite each other's bodies tightly. It forms a blob that floats on the surface of the water. This group of South America's notorious red live ants, with its fierce aggression and invading ability, famous all over the world. But they also possess incredible survival intelligence. Crimson fire is no more than a few millimeters long. But when the flood flooded their nests, hundreds of thousands of ants will gather rapidly, bite each other. They form an impermeable bivalve, floating on the water. The outermost process extends the body, become a waterproof base. In the middle is the carefully protected back and egg sac. There are also ants on the upper level responsible for ventilation and humidity regulation. A flexible and robust biological structure like a valve can float for days in a flood. even across kilometers. Scientists use slow-motion cameras, capture the whole process of building with penalties. It took less than 2 minutes to discover the entire assembly. And here's what's amazing. This kind of penalty has an automatic adjustment mechanism. When hit by water waves, they will rearrange. Turn to self-help. Simply a ship. Self-healing biological ships. This is not a simple cuddle. But through super cooperation precipitated by millions of years of evolution. For humans, this one is not necessarily good news. He not only saved the red calamity from the floods, it may also float to new environments to take root and spread, sometimes even in your toilet. The 5th place in the Neighbour Mountains Den. In people's impression, crocodiles are cold-blooded and fierce predators. Is the most dangerous existence by the water. But few people know. Nero is also in nature. A few will build nests for their offspring, reptiles that protect eggs and even deliver babies. In Africa, drought and humidity. In the intertwined ecological environment. Are you hungry every year around the time of the rainy season? Choose a sunny one. Slightly higher ground. Personally, with a huge tail and powerful limbs, dig a circular crater. And use plant residues. The earth and sand are piled up into a high mound. This mound is not piled up randomly. It's an incubator of engineering ingenuity. Usually a crocodile is about 40 to 80 centimeters tall. Just over a meter. Buried in it are 30 to 80 US eggs. On average, each egg is a circle larger than an egg. Soft surface of soil moxibustion. The inside is tight. Excellent thermal insulation performance. Heat released by plants as they decay. Help egg maintain a constant incubation temperature of 30 to 33 degrees Celsius. This acts as a natural geothermal incubator. Scientists have discovered that the control of tidal temperature in Nile almost accurate to 1 degree Celsius. And here's what's amazing. Incubation temperature directly determines the gender of the baby crocodile. Slightly warmer, mostly male. If the temperature is slightly lower, it is mainly female. So an experienced alligator mother. Maybe even through sighting and soil adjustment. Achieving a natural balance in gender balance. When a baby crocodile breaks its shell, it makes a small call. And the alligator female responds carefully immediately. Carefully dig through the thick soil with your mouth. Even gently bite through the eggshell. Deliver them one by one. He also holds the slower hatching eggs in his mouth. Let them develop faster in a wetter environment. After hatching is completed, the alligator mother gently carries dozens of baby alligators into her mouth. Across the land to the rice paddies and to the water, one at a time. Never bite. This is the softest side of the crocodile world. Also among wolf-blooded animals. Extremely rare maternal miracle. 4th place puffer fish prisoner puppet sand painting nest. On a front sand bed off the coast of Okinawa, Japan, there's this reticent underwater artist. He doesn't write poetry or sing, but with a pair of flags, carving of a grain of sand and a grain of sand, create the most romantic masterpiece under the sea. This artist, males no more than 12 centimeters long. Original blowfish. Every reproduction note, he will choose a clearing at the bottom of the sea, start a seemingly crazy job. Flapping his body and fins back and forth in the sand, it moves the sand with the flow of water. Day after day. Carve a beautiful sand painting up to 2 meters in diameter. The whole structure is radial, composed of multiple symmetrical ridges and gullies. In the middle is a low-lying, flat center. Like a giant mandala. A few flower plates or a snowflake sleeping underwater. This is the only one in the world. Built by individual animals. It also has a high degree of aesthetics. Non-instrumental architecture with symmetry and practical function. No materials were used. It's all about movement, behavior, shaping. Sophisticated and amazing. But this artwork is not about beauty. He's a male blowfish. A courtship stage built to attract magnetism. Peripheral radiation impact ripple can weaken current disturbance. And in the center, the softest grains of sand, designed for short production. And when the female swims in, the male will show himself by swimming around the entire sand painting. A double artistic performance of Jinggyudong. Expand from this. If the female is satisfied with the wedding bed and the performance, he swims into the central zone. Lay their eggs on that carefully laid sand. After mating, sand painting has fulfilled his mission. It will soon be smoothed out by the current. Return to the peaceful yarn bed. As if it never existed. Scientists didn't use images until 2014. Confirm this phenomenon. Shocked by the engineering ingenuity behind this. He doesn't fall into the category of tool use, but it has an architectural logic. Lack of cultural learning ability, but in the same place every year. Complete difficult creations repeatedly. 3rd place Luoyang Department Dungeon Nest School. If there really was an underground empire on Earth, then his builder was probably a naked-eyed rat. Don't look at this life in East Africa. Smolnya in the steppe. Toothed animals look funny, almost hairless, wrinkled skin. But they are underground, established. A complex nest of social wonders in the animal kingdom. The home is not a hole. It's not a couple of little tunnels. It was crisscrossing. Clear function. An underground city that can accommodate hundreds of members. Underground nests of the genus Nutella, often more than 3 kilometers in total. The deepest can be dug below 2 meters underground. Contains multiple functional storage compartments. Zen house nursery. Rest cabin garbage area. Irrigation area. There are even passages of opportunity and exits. Its complexity. It's comparable to the human subway system. The tunnels are scattered. Just enough for a naked-eyed rat to pass. It is conducive to regulating defensive temperature. Underdog. It is also convenient for information transmission and transportation. The system is not some random rat hole. Instead, the whole group works together to complete the fine division of labor. Continuous maintenance. Naked-eye rats have similar social structure and seal, implementing a honeycomb society to breed queen several male mates. The rest are performances and escorts, responsible for excavation, tasks such as handling, cleaning, and caring for cubs. Each member lives for the group all their lives. Individual behavior is subject to the overall amazing order. Efficiency. And here's what's surprising. This underground living environment is not comfortable and lacks high carbon dioxide ceiling and stuffy. But naked eyes, rats have evolved amazing physical adaptations. They can survive in a low oxygen state, maintain normal metabolism, hardly dare to feel pain. It is also highly resistant to diseases such as cancer, and when confronted with natural enemies or floods, the whole group will cooperate to transfer or win tunnel. Shows amazing collective intelligence. Second Gardner bird nest. In the rainforests of New Guinea lives one of the most romantic birds, the Gardner bird. They don't win mates with feathers. It's a higher skill. Architecture and aesthetic design. Gardner's bird's nest. It's not really for habitation. It's a gallery to attract the opposite sex. It's more like an elaborate art installation. The bear bird is in order to win the favor of this bird. Can use branches, lift the husk, feathers and even peels, bone shell, shards of glass and all the other decorations you could find. Build a cool building with symmetrical beauty on the ground, pavilion or passage, and carefully arranged colorful ornaments around. The whole process. It's like building a little museum for love. Different species of Gardner birds. They have different preferences in terms of shape and color. Some love blue. Some are fresh yellow. Some prefer straight channel structures. Others create circular stages. Others built small gardens at the entrance of the exhibition hall. And the exhibits are specially arranged by color partition. One of the most famous yellow peach Gardner birds. The gazebo he saw was up to 1 meter high, nearly 2 meters wide, covered with moss and symmetrically arranged colorful objects. The visual effect is comparable to a mini exhibition hall on the ground. And here's what's really amazing. This bird doesn't score easily. They will inspect the nests of multiple bear birds many times, and according to the integrity of the building, color matching, exhibit richness, and stage performances to decide whether to pair or not. Bear birds can even tune entire exhibit location, optimize composition. Some even steal from their neighbors, destroy the other party's work. So the competition is intense. This is an extremely rare non-functional building. He is not afraid to perch, not afraid to give in, just to attract the opposite sex and demonstrate one's own taste. And different individuals. They also have their own unique design styles and aesthetic preferences. Artist and architect among birds. Gardner birds' nests are not only a rare sight in nature, the pursuit of beauty. He told us, attraction is never just about strength or appearance. Sometimes creation itself is the most moving confession. Number 1. Coral reef ecosystems. In human architecture, you have megacolonies like cities. It is also carefully crafted like a palace. But if you're looking for the largest, the most complex and fantastical lair, the answer may lie in the blue underwater world. It has no walls, but it holds up 1/4 of the world of marine life. This is a coral reef. He seems silent. It's really bustling. It's dominated by coral polyps, the continuous secretion of calcium carbonate bones. Little by little, massive structures are stacked on the seafloor over thousands or even millions of years. Although the individuals are small, only a few millimeters, but what they collectively write about, it can be called the most brilliant life building in nature. The most typical example, the Great Barrier Reef in northeastern Australia. It consists of over 3,000 individual coral reefs and more than 900 small islands. The total length is over 2,300 kilometers. It's the size of Italy. It can even be seen clearly from space. There are no animal nests of any kind. It's comparable in scale. It is a well-deserved natural wonder. It's the largest living structure on Earth. You can put Sean. The reef is understood as a super-large underwater city. It's not cluttered. They have clear merit, energy zoning and stable ecological structure. The crevices and caves of coral reefs provide shelter for small fish. Glue top diving area becomes a plankton paradise, and Jiapa is a hunting ground patrolled by predators. The structures are scattered like an exquisitely carved palace, between cracks. Make silent and complex life exchanges. And here's what's really amazing. Although coral reefs cover less than 1% of the ocean, but there is a global, 1/4 of all marine species depend on it. These seemingly fragile colloids, It actually supports a large and sophisticated ecosystem. Clownfish hide among sea anemones. The hippocampus is circling between smart corals. The octopus hides in Yenshi Jubilee and waits for an opportunity. Even sharks and turtles often cruise. This is one. Common nests tailored for tens of thousands of species of life. But buildings like this also age, sick, or even disappear. Symbiotic algae and corals. Once separated due to rising temperature or deteriorating water quality, the coral bleaches. Loss of nutrients. The coral gradually dies, and once the reef collapses, its superstructure will also disintegrate. Over the past few decades, global coral reefs have been lost by more than half. This is nature's largest nest. It is also the most vulnerable fortress. Its value goes far beyond ecological significance. Coral reefs not only protect coastlines, buffer storm, maintain fisheries, it also supports the marine tourism industry. The economic value created each year, hundreds of billions of dollars. In today's climate crisis, this underwater city built on little life. Instead, it has become a barrier to the future of mankind. Among the top 10 most amazing animal nests, coral reefs are not just about scale. It is the ultimate form in a sense. There are no clear roofs or walls, but it is a building truly dedicated to life. Sheltered from the tiniest floating, a sea of creatures to top predators. Ecological building. Compared to the habitat of one beast at a time, coral reefs are nests shared by thousands of creatures. It's an invisible history of architecture. It's a collaborative art that's been going on for millions of years. These are the 10 most amazing animal nests. Which one surprised you the most? Leave a message to tell me. Remember to subscribe to like, share. Global Survey Daily Update. See you tomorrow.